want to allow my mind to be great. I want to allow my mind to flow with ideas, to attack everything that's against me, to attack the devil that tries to stop me, procrastination. You know, being able to adapt to every situation that I got going on, just adapt to my life situations and still perform to my highest capability. You see, it's not easy, but nobody said it was going to be. Nobody that truly makes it says it's gonna be easy. And you gotta be willing to put in that work every single day. Every day is a new day to make it count. If it was easy, everybody would do it. When you see the vision on a non-physical plane, it's powerful enough that you are destined to make it happen. But without the proper action, none of that will happen. You got to be ready to be that man or woman, like I previously stated in my video. But what comes with that is knowingly that you're gonna have to let things go. You're gonna have to change and, you know, basically reconstruct a whole new identity for yourself, because it's like there's a lot of things that are putting us at a disadvantage. Myself, when I look at myself today, the man who I am this current moment when I make this video, there's a lot of things that I will implement to get me better, because I will not say I'm perfect. I'm nowhere near perfect, because I know that physically I've yet to improve on so many things. You know, I want to be at a certain physique. Mentally, I have so many things to overcome. You know, there's for every new day, what do they say? For every new level, there's a new devil. And I've gone through certain levels on this journey of self-development. You see, starting off, you know, being a kid that, you know, growing up, I always used to love the idea that, you know, I was just a good kid. Was never really involved with a whole lot. You know, I had my friends, my share of friends, but I never really had a direct group of people, you know, growing up, that we were really connected like that. I mean, we're talking about out of school, in school, you know, it was kind of more so like school buddies. And, you know, going through my years of middle school and all, I was pretty much a shy guy. You know, I kind of stick to myself. If somebody talked to me, I would talk to them, but I really kept to myself. It was really until high school years when I kind of started to put myself more out there, but I was still more of that quiet guy, and until I put myself in certain environments that influenced me into a person who I wasn't going to be, but that I would slowly become. And that was a person that would be smoking, you know, drinking, you know, just involved in like certain activities that, you know, in the devil's palace. And that's the big thing on like environment. You know, I remember my first year of high school, freshman year. The principal stated about how, you know, these 4 years are gonna go by fast. You know, and you know, when you hear that, you're just like, man, it's year one. It's the first month of the school year. I mean, I don't think it's gonna go by fast. It feels like it's draining right now, or it's just like it just feels slow. And little do you know it. I mean, you're past the 4 years. I'm past the 4 years for sure. And you reflect on those moments and you realize that time really does go by fast. You know, you got certain moments, certain situations, maybe for a class and all that you like, you're probably dreading a certain day and all that, but that's what comes with every like with school. You know, I used to dread like certain tests and all because I never used to really study. I feel like I never used to really put my all into school, and I feel like that was my issue, because especially when I started getting involved with things I shouldn't be involved in, like I really started to slack more in it. I started ditching. You know, I wasn't showing up for myself on academic spectrum. And just going back to my point though, it was just about environment. You know, the fact that your environment will dictate who you become, like the rooms you're in, the people you're around. Like I never once thought that I'd end up being, you know, a smoker or in that type of phase, because for people it doesn't become a phase half the time. It becomes their whole life. You know, their whole life reflects on or depends on weed, or their whole life is based on alcoholism. It's just like, it's crazy to think about. But yeah, I remember just like the thought of becoming that person, you know, it disgusted me, because growing up with a father that always drank, always had a temper, and you know, he never knew how to control himself. You know, I mean, there was no control over the alcohol. And when people don't have control over something and that thing just controls them, you know, you're in for so much, you know. And I witnessed, when I talk about him, I witnessed somebody like that from being somebody of high value to meaning nothing to me. You know, I feel like that's how big it gets, where it's like you could hold so much for yourself, but you're killing yourself through every action that you choose to take on that route. You know, it's a lot of times just people decide to choose the easy path. You know, the path that they feel like will help them overcome. You know, they choose to silence their emotions with a blunt, or like they choose to feed themselves alcohol to ease the pain. You know, that's some pussy shit. It really is. I ain't gonna lie. And if you're depending on something else to, you know, to put yourself in a secure mindset, or to fortify your mind, you would say, to make you stronger, you know, that shit really weak. And you gotta really reflect on yourself. If you're still at that point where you're depending on something, then you got something else coming for you, and you got another journey ahead of you. Obviously, I mean, I've gone through it where you've had to make the decision, and that's making the one of the biggest impactful decisions you'll ever make. That you'll either let go of that, make the decision to just stop that, or it'll stop you. Like it'll stop your momentum. If you even get the chance to build that, it'll stop your creative thinking. It'll stop your ability to maximize your potential, because you create a limit with anything of that sort. So just be aware of how many disadvantages you really put yourself into because of the fact that of like just our actions, you know. Our actions dictate our outcome. But y'all, let's continue to grow through every day. You see, we're nowhere near perfect. We've got so much to improve on. And I tell y'all that every day truly matters. Like, I went out on a run yesterday, and I wasn't planning on going on a run, but I had my guy tell me, like, you know, we should head off a run. And we did like 9.5 miles, and I kid you not, that was a pain that the pain of that run was crazy, and it made me open my eyes towards how I was really treating my body. Because the thing about a run is that it really opens up a lot of things, and it shows the true reality of like how things really are. Because say for example, if you're treating your body like shit, and you're not taking care of yourself, you'll feel that for sure. And you know, I just feel like my diet recently and how I've been maintaining my body, and you know, just treating it, reflected on the run yesterday, because I was suffering after like mile 5. Everything was just falling on me. You know, the only thing I wanted to do was just stop. But it's through those moments when you decide to push through that pain, you know, it's just about those moments where you got to make that decision to keep going. You know, I kid you not, I did stop. I stopped multiple times yesterday on that run, but I had to pick myself back up. I had to keep telling myself, and I had to, you know, my words yesterday felt like they were just going out of one ear and leaving out through the other, you know, going through one ear and leaving out through the other, you know. And it's like my brain wasn't hearing them for real. Like I didn't want to hear anything verbally. I feel like nothing was actually gonna help, because in that moment all I wanted to do was just stop. But I had to continue, whether it was just slowing down my pace. I just had to keep going. But whether, like, just in your current situation, you just gotta keep going. You see, you might have to slow down a little bit, you know. And in that moment, I had to recognize what was making me feel like this. You know, why was I so weak? And, you know, I kind of pinpointed it. You know, it was, you know, just proper diet, like what I was burning off. You know, what was fueling me, that was really just actually, you know, making me suffer even more. And you know, you kind of gotta put that same type of perspective into whatever you're doing. You know, why am I not willing to take that risk? Or why am I not willing to believe in myself to do this? Or why am I not able to work on myself? Or why am I not able to, you know, just do this? You know, but you gotta recognize exactly, because it's always gonna fall on you. That's the thing. Something's always gonna fall on you. You can't blame the world for anything that's going on in your life. That's the truth about it, for real. I mean, if you decide to blame things on just the world, people around you, I mean, you got some thinking to do, and you gotta really, just go to the drawing board and recognize that, I mean, the problem is within you. It's just about how we choose to solve it. So go solve your problems. Go be a better person, because you're nowhere near your 10%. And that 10% is nowhere near that 100%, your maximum potential. You see, we've got so much in us. Go unlock that shit. Go unlock your potential through every day. You deserve to live a life that's worth living. You deserve to live that life that you envision, that you dream of. But it's not gonna come easy. You just gotta recognize that and keep pushing towards a better tomorrow. We're blessed to be able to live today, and God gives us this ability to be His strongest soldier. And we definitely gotta use that towards our advantage to overcome adversity, to build us and build a strong foundation for ourselves to take on everything that tries to get in our way. You see? Just keep on going, y'all. Like I say, keep that ball moving, win the day. Level up, y'all. Level up.